I am so excited for today's video. Get ready. Welcome back to my monthly Mask Me Anything. If you're new, I'm Makayla, and once a month I ask you guys on my Instagram, follow me on Instagram if you aren't already, to send in some questions for a casual Q&A. This month's Mask Me Anything though is very exciting because not only is it a juicy Q&A, which I always love to do, but it is a themed Q&A all about health, sex education, growing up, puberty, dating, like women's health, all those really fun topics. I wanted to make this Q&A themed this month because we have a sponsor. Oh my god, I'm so excited to announce that. This video is sponsored by Nurex. Nurex is an amazing website. Nurex is a hassle-free way to get birth control delivered right to your home, helping you take control of your sexual health without the hassle of going to the pharmacy or paying to get birth control. That's right, Nurex is free. With health insurance, Nurex is usually completely free or just the cost of copay. And if you don't have insurance, it's completely okay because Nurex is only $15 a month without insurance. That's unbelievably affordable. Nurex offers over 50 brands of birth control, including the top brands that most people use, as well as other sexual health products, including emergency contraception. It is super easy to get started. All you have to do is click the link in my description box below or go to getnurex.co/Makayla, which is listed in my description box. Click the link to get your birth control today. It's super easy to get started. All you have to do is choose the prescription that you would like, or you can get a doctor's advice on what method of birth control might be best for you. Answer a few health and demographic questions, and Nurex will fill and ship out the prescription and deliver it right to you. A medical team will review your order, and a licensed provider will write out your 3-month prescription. Nurex also refills and reships your prescription every 3 months, so you don't have to worry about forgetting to refill your birth control or running out of birth control. And like I said, all of this is only $15 a month if you do not have insurance, or with insurance it could be completely free, meaning you could pay $0 and receive birth control. It's easy, affordable, safe, and secure. Nurex is HIPAA compliant and is completely confidential with their team. There's also somebody always online to contact if you have any questions or concerns about side effects or any other questions about insurance and whatnot that you would like answered. So if you would like someone to chat with more about this, you can definitely click the link in my description box, go to getnurex.co/Makayla and chat with somebody online to help you. Honestly, I wish something like this existed when I was in high school and just in college, especially when I went to that college in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, that was very far away, so much more accessible and affordable to me as a student. I think this is a very positive step in the right direction for women's health at a very crucial time. We have the right to our own bodies and healthcare, and birth control has never been more accessible than it is today. Take advantage of what Nurex has to offer and order your birth control today. Link in bio. I just want to say a huge thank you to Nurex for sponsoring today's video. Now that I've said that, let's go get that face mask on because you guys asked a ton of questions about sex and women's health, and I cannot wait to chat more about them. So let's go get that mask on. Welcome to my bathroom. What face mask should we use tonight? I did not think about this yet. For today's video, we are going to be using Biore's Charcoal Whipped Purifying Detox Mask. I've only used this a few times, and to be honest, I didn't really like it because it's a cooling mask. It doesn't dry or harden, and there's just something about a mask that dries and hardens that I really do like. But it does a really good job at like getting all that gunk out. It eliminates impurities and purifies your pores, and I did notice a difference when I used it. So we're gonna be using this baby today, and who knows, maybe it'll grow on me as a product and I might like it this time. So face mask montage starting now. You gotta get out of the sink. Really, Marnie? You gotta get out. I'm sorry, I need it. I love you, but I also need I need to use the sink right now. Okay, we're getting out of the sink. Sorry, girl. I think that's good because it's a cool like whipped mask. I really had to rub it in, especially since it won't dry and look different. Like, this is what my face is gonna look like for the entire video. Now that we've got our mask on, let's head back to the couch and answer those questions. I am so excited about these questions because not only are they about a topic that I don't discuss a lot on this channel, but I'm also super open to discussing them. As always, I like to answer these questions in chronological order, starting with the first question received To the last, and not gonna lie, you guys really delivered this time. I asked for sex-related questions. You gave me sex-related questions. Before we get started, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up because it does help. Comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. We really are like one big family with lots of love to go around. It's never too late to join. All you have to do is hit subscribe. Also, don't forget to click the bell because this notifies you every time I upload a new video, and I always shout out the first comments on my social media, so be sure to be following me on that as well, especially from Ask Me Anythings, because I always ask you guys on Instagram to ask questions. So follow me on Instagram so you don't miss out on an opportunity to be featured in the next Ask Me Anything. Whew, with all of that being said, the very first question we have tonight is how to avoid UTIs. Number one tip of advice is you gotta pee. You just have to pee before and after. Even if you feel like you don't have to, just try. You'll regret it if you don't. What is the right age for sex? I don't think there specifically is a right versus wrong age. It has to do a lot with whether or not you are ready. You could be 25 and still not ready to have sex, or you could be 17 and believe that you are completely ready to have sex. It totally depends on you specifically and what you think you are ready for. I believe Amy Poehler said this best in her memoir, Yes Please. It was one of her tips of advice for growing up, where she said something like, hold on to your virginity until it starts to feel weird having it, and then that's when you know you're ready. Some other pieces of advice that I remember thinking of when I was contemplating whether or not I was ready to have sex was, you will never regret not having sex with someone, but you might regret having sex with someone. From a parental perspective, I think my mom or any parent would say that unless you feel you are ready to have a child, don't have sex. Again, all these are very like different beliefs and opinions, but I don't think there's a right age for sex. I think it just has to do with where you are mentally, if you believe that you're ready. I just love how Amy Poehler put it, because I remember when it started to feel weird having my virginity, and that's when I knew I was ready. That's my favorite piece of advice, is hold on to it for as long as you can until it starts to feel weird that you still have it. Getting knowledge about your own body when you don't have any older figure to talk to about. Girl, talk to me. I'm always here. I'm always open. DM me. I'll tell you whatever you need to know. That being said, some other YouTubers have really helped me on educating myself on sex and sexual health and all of that. Arden Rose has great sex Q&As. So does Megan Rinks. Her podcast is all about sex. If you want to check that out, I think it's called Don't Blame Me. There are a lot of influential people and young girls and women online that can help you. I didn't have anyone in my life to talk to about that type of stuff either, so I totally get it, but YouTube was a really great platform for me. And Tumblr, like, you can Google anything these days, and I think you can do it in an educational manner, so I would recommend that. And again, my DM is always open if you want to chat with me. Is it okay to think a high school relationship will last? Absolutely. My parents were high school sweethearts, so I will always be biased. My parents met in junior high and they dated in high school, and they are still together to this day, 26 years later. Well, since they got married. Favorite sex position? I get this question every single Ask Me Anything, and sometimes I'll answer it sarcastically, like with my favorite sleeping position, you know, like how I fall asleep. But for the sake of this themed Q&A, I think I'm gonna answer it. Got a few. Think about them. And if you're guessing those, it's probably one of mine. What is the biggest thing for you in a relationship? Trust, quality time, and physical touch. Kind of like the love languages. Are you on birth control? I want to do a full video all about my birth control experience, but right now, to be short, I am not on birth control. Again, shameless plug to the link down below if you want to get on birth control or would just like more information about it. Definitely check out that link to Nurex. But right now, I'm currently not on the pill for a lot of different reasons. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want to hear my story and kind of what happened and why I'm not currently on it. I'm not against it at all. It's just a really long story and it deserves its own video, so I will make that soon if you guys want to see that. Did your parents sit you down and have the talk? No. I learned about sex at a sleepover when I was 8 years old, and it was the day that my friend's parents gave her the talk. Then we had a sleepover and she was like, you would never believe what my mom told me today. And we were just in her bunk beds. Like, we are third graders sleeping in her bunk bed. Like, oh my God, like, it's shocking. I do wish that my parents did have a talk with me. I understand that at the time it would probably have been super awkward, but I never really got that talk with my parents. My parents didn't even know that I already knew about sex. I kind of told my parents about sex. Like, I told them I knew years later. Do you think influencers do a good enough job showing their non-highlight reel? It depends on the influencer. Like Emma Chamberlain, yes, because she's got her highlights, but then she's not afraid to post a photo of her crying or her without makeup. What do you do for exercise? exercise, especially in Minnesota when it is snowing like heck. I do yoga in my living room almost every single day. Usually I follow Yoga with Adriene videos because she's amazing. Definitely check her out. Otherwise, I love to rollerblade in the summer around the lakes. I work a serving job, so I'm on my feet a ton, and like typically I walk over 15,000 steps when I go to work. I kind of count that as exercise because I am on my feet all day carrying heavy plates and all of that, so I find ways. How do you feel about the government trying to take birth control rights away? Rachel Green says it best: no uterus, no opinion, but we do have accessible birth control for you in my description box. OMG, love you. What is your insecurity in a relationship and how do you overcome it? I love you too. My biggest insecurity in a relationship is coming across too clingy. I have a very like attached personality. Even though I need my space, I love my own space and time because I do a lot of work from home and I need that quality alone time. If I'm hanging out with my significant other, I get so attached, like I don't want to not hang out with them, and I'm always afraid that it comes across clingy because I don't consider myself a clingy girlfriend, but I do know that if I'm with you in person, like in that moment, I'm going to act clingy because I just want to spend more time with you. But I kind of overcome this because a lot of it's in my head and I'm a pretty busy girl, so I got stuff to do, and that kind of helps me understand that like, okay, we can value our time together, but I also need to recharge and spend time by myself in order to miss that person and value more of our time together later on, if that makes any sense. Well, that and my mental health. My mental health was a super big insecurity in relationships. Like, you're expecting someone to accept you for all of your flaws, including your mental health and what you might be going through. It can be pretty scary to give that over to someone and hope that they catch you when you're falling. How often do you believe it is necessary for couples to be physically intimate? This could be a discussion for the couple. I think it just varies. Personally, if it's been a while, I am the type of person to get nervous as to why, and I do really need that for reassurance because it is intimate and it does make me feel closer to someone. For me, it kind of serves a purpose of like reassurance that that person still cares about me, which isn't always what sex is. Sometimes sex is just sex, and sometimes sex is love, and all the other bits in between. Experience with birth control. All I'm really going to say about birth control in this video, for the sake of our sponsor, is just to go check out the website. And if you're looking for accessible birth control, definitely check out the website and get your birth control today. I plan on doing a full video all about my birth control experience, but definitely comment down below if that is something that you want to watch. And if you do want to watch it, do you have any specific talking points or questions that you would like answered in that video? Let me know. What is your stance on abortion? Ooh, heavy topic, but perfect for this themed Ask Me Anything. I could never do it, but just because I would never go through with it doesn't mean that other people shouldn't have the right to their own decision. What could we do as a society to help with the problem of poor body image? This is such a wonderful question. I wish I knew the answer. I am trying to do what I can to help change this. I think some of my videos, like my biggest insecurities, stretch marks, small boobs, all those videos that I talk about where I try to highlight body positivity, I hope that they are making a ripple or an effect of change in this big topic. And I think that's all that we can really do, is try to figure out stuff like that to help just talk about it and bring more awareness to body acceptance and the fact that everyone is beautiful. I mean, apps like Facetune definitely do not help the cause. I'm guilty of using it, but not to change my body, if that makes sense, because there is an alteration of like what you look like in photos and on social media versus what you look like in real life, and just kind of making sure that everyone's aware that like what you see on Instagram is not accurate. What does it take to get a second date? A kiss. But God, I think what I'm trying to say is if you don't kiss me on a first date, I won't even consider it a date, and I might not want a second date. But don't just flipping kiss me and then assume you're getting a second date also. I think it just takes having a good time, being a decent human, and making me intrigued enough to want to know more about you. Sometimes a first kiss definitely helps. Do you have any issues with parts of your body, and if so, how are you dealing with it? I have a video all about this called My Biggest Insecurities. I'll link it up above as well as down below. Go check it out. But yes, I do, and that video talks all about it. Did you go through any deep depression episodes before? Definitely. I don't really talk about my past that much on this channel. I think I do implement it here and there throughout videos when I feel it is necessary, but I have never done a full-on video about my mental health journey and what I went through as a teenager. I think because it was such a big stamp on my identity growing up, especially in high school. I just felt like everyone knew me to be that certain type of person and what I went through. And in college and my adult life, I didn't want to immediately be known as that girl that went through X, Y, and Z. I went to a small school, everyone knew everyone's ish, and this was my chance to start over. So I don't really talk about it a lot. Yes, I did, and it was very dark. TBD to those Tumblr days, if anyone knows what I'm talking about. I'm really glad that I got great help and I know how to take care of myself and recognize triggers now, but yeah, I did, and maybe I'll do a full video on it someday. I think we're getting there, baby steps. I know I've mentioned I've been in a hospital before for stuff. I know I've mentioned that I have bipolar, and the reason that I know I have bipolar is because years before that I was misdiagnosed with depression. I should just make a full video on that because I'm already starting to rant and I do want to talk about it, but it's not the time and place. Opinions on California teaching sex ed in kindergarten. Whew, that is young. Let kids be kids, in my opinion. Innocence is so pure and beautiful, and you cannot get that back. Oh my god. Opinion on banning birth control. You really just have to open Twitter or Instagram or Facebook and you'll see a ton of what I'm probably thinking. There is accessible, non-banned birth control just a click away in my description box. How do you tell your crush you like him? Like this. I like you. That's all it takes. Easier said than done. How was your first time giving and tips? I want to answer this, but I also feel like this one is like a little much. Have you ever tried tying the stem of a cherry in your mouth? It's nearly impossible if you don't use tongue. Does your boyfriend watch your videos? Yes, he does, and he is supportive. It's not really something that we spend a lot of time talking about, to be honest, but on our first date it was something that he brought up, was that, oh, I know that you make YouTube videos because I watched one of them. Yeah. Do you regret hooking up with anyone? I want to say yes to a few people, but I also think I needed those experiences to learn and to grow from, because I believe everything happens for a reason, so I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't go through that. Last question. How do you deal with ex-best friends? That ish is as bad as a breakup. Girl, I know. I actually have a very old Mornings with Makaykay video all about when people leave you and like ex-best friends and all that. I'm gonna link it above as well as down below. Definitely recommend, even though it's like 4 years old. I think the advice and stuff that I talk about is still very relevant. I went through a really bad platonic best friend breakup a few years ago with one of my best friends, and it was super hard. I totally get that it is literally like a breakup. Lucky for me, we actually got some really good closure about a year later, and we met up and were able to talk about everything that happened. If you feel comfortable doing that, then I definitely recommend it, because like I don't regret it. I don't think you have anything to lose, but don't be afraid to block someone if you need to cut any toxic old friendships out of your life. It's probably the most healthy thing in my opinion as an adult. I don't know if that helped or not, but I do understand that it is super difficult going through a best friend breakup, so I feel you on that. All right, and I just refreshed my last story, and I think that is the very last question to come in, so I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for sending in questions for this video. I really appreciate it. Huge thank you to our sponsor Nurex. Definitely go check them out in the link below. Birth control, if you need any of that, like it's literally in my description box if you need the pill. Again, I think that is like such a great step in the right direction for women's healthcare. Go get yourself some BC, girl. With all that being said though, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm pretty sure the next videos that you will see from me will be my Chicago videos, because my boyfriend and I are heading off to Chicago in just a matter of days. I'm so excited, so definitely follow me on social media to see all of my updates on my travels, and I'll see you guys when I get back from Chicago. Oh my god, have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye!